We're going to be looking at a few things, but I'm also going to be opening the floor for you to ask questions, so I can further buttress on anything basically that I need to buttress. So yeah. So before we do that, so today anyways, we're going to be starting with, before the question answer, before I open the floor for question answers, we're going to be starting with building a journal, right? I had mentioned that when it comes to trading, it's about trading. It's like a business actually. In fact, a business that will really, transform you, because if you're going to do it right, and if you're going to do it the way it should be, you realize that a lot of the flaws that you have, normally, a lot of the flaws that you have, would have to give way, for you to really succeed, in trading. So you'd have to sort of refine and develop, the attitude of journaling, the attitude of reviewing, reflecting, and so much. So to enable that happen, how to go about that is journaling. And I'll be building a journal right from scratch with you today, just so that you have an idea of what a journal is like. And when I'm done building, I'll be sharing that also with you, and you can literally run with it. So of course, for the course for the stock in profit course, there is a journal for that, but that would be only accessible in the course. But I'm going to show you how to go about building a journal, and yeah, and that's it. So that said, let me just open this. Okay, cool. So now to build the journal, we're going to be using this Notion. So notion.so. If you just type Notion, I think on Google, you have access to this. Now journaling, can be done through different systems, different methods by different people. Some people even use Excel to kind of journal their trades and all of that. And you can use all of these platforms, but I found Notion to be one that is really good. And it's, of course, it's free. So you have they have the free tier plan. So you can actually start with it, and you can grow it, and then you can make it really, really, really big. So we're going to try doing that. I've already registered right now with one of my Gmail accounts. So if you go there, I think it's also prompts you to register with your account. So it's asking me some questions here. I'll just try to, I don't need to do all of this. I'll just skip. Now, good. So here we are. So it says, yeah, join your teammates on Notion. I have another one anyways. That's where I have the Paruto Notion template and all of that. So I'll just create a new workspace here, and let's see what we have. So this would sort of create a shell for me. Good. So this is it. So this is what the template, this is what Notion looks like. So you have different templates that you can use to start creating something. So for this, I'll start by creating, let me see, let me use let's see this personal home template, what it's like. Okay, I think I like this personal home template. So let's start from here. So now we want to create, like a template where we'll be able to register our trade, and also, document our trade and journal our trades. Like I mentioned, journaling is important because it helps you to see all the flaws in your trading, and helps you to be able to reflect and correct and improve your trading system. So to start with, we're going to start here. So I'll just rename this from personal home to trading. I'll just say maybe trading hub, something like that. And then here you can type anything, so I'll just put something like learn, practice, repeat. And this is sincerely all about trading. You learn, you practice, you repeat, you go over and over again. So that's that. So for the first column here, I'm going to have something like maybe, let me say 1. Right, section 1. So under this section, we're going to have something like, let's say, trading plans, for example. Then we'll have another section here. Let's say this is going to be 2, and then I'm going to name this. Wait, let me go back and let me be sure you guys can see. Oh, okay. Again, I've done it again. Thank you so much. I had to come back here to be sure something wasn't wrong. Oh my! I was sharing my screen. What's happening? Okay, so let me share the screen, guys. All right, I think you can see the screen now. Oh my god. Okay, cool. Thank god I had to go back. I was like, let me just go back and check to be sure that everything is okay. All right, so yeah, I was talking about Notion, right? So Notion, this is actually where you need to visit notion.so. I'll just copy that and put that in the chat. So notion.so, please feel free to always send me a message if something like that should ever happen again. Okay, so yeah, so notion.so, yeah, that's where we are. So if you visit there, you'll be prompted to register. You can register to Gmail, your account, and then you have access to something like this. So when we came in here, we had some pre-built templates, by Notion itself. So I simply just clicked one that was actually named personal, I think personal something, I just clicked on one and that was it. And I changed the name here to Trading Hub. I, changed the text that was here to learn, practice, and repeat. And then what else? There was something else here. I changed it to, I think daily was here. I changed it to 1 and trading plans. And then 2, I want to put here maybe like, what now? What we're going to put here? Let me say trades, right? So I'll put trades there. And then you can create another one. Now, templates is very, and the Notion writer is very flexible. So to do this, let me also do something. Let me just make, instead of having everything here in the center, I would love to expand this. This is my preference, full width here. You can decide to just leave everything center like this, but I'd love to expand this. I'll just put full width. So basically it utilizes the entire space. So we have this. So this here, we have 2 major columns. We can decide to have maybe 3 or 4 or 5. So how you do that is if you just, if you just click a space, right? So if you just do this, click on enter, it's, moves the cursor to a new space. You type the slash button, you see it /. When you do that, you type maybe column, and then you see it tells you how many columns you want, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So I think let's just use 4, right? So we'll use 4. Now I'm going to move this 1 to the first column. So I'll just drag it from here and you just move it, yeah, and then drag the, what do we have here? There's a line here. I'm just going to drag that and put that there, and then also drag this and put that there. All right, so I'm going to be changing this anyways later on, but just to see how this works. And then the second one, I'm going to drag it and put it on the second column. So I'll drag that, you can see. I'll drag this one, so I'll put it under that, and then the line, the divider, I'll put it above. So good. So now we have 2 columns, right? And we have 2 additional ones here because we selected 4 columns. I love for Notion, for some personal preference, I love the background to always be dark. So I'm going to change this from white to black. So I'll do that by going to settings here, right? So I'll go to settings. I'll click on what? Settings. What do we have here? Is this one supposed to do this? That's why I like walkthroughs, right? We're doing this together. Okay, good. So under my notifications and settings, we have here appearance. I'll just choose dark, right? And that's it. So cool. So I love it like this way anyways. This is how I always love it to be. Now we have this cover image. I'm going to change this to something much more, something that looks like like trading. So you have options. You can upload an image that you've downloaded from the internet. You can click on Unsplash and just pick an image that you like. So I'll just type trading, and yeah, look at nice images here. So I think I'll go with which one now? Let me go with this. Oh, this one. Let me go with this one. Right, do something great, looks really nice. Oh wait, no, I think I'm going to use that somewhere else. Let me just upload a picture that is Paruto picture. So let me just upload one from here. I should have an image here I can upload. Yeah, cool. So I'll upload this one. So this is of course the banner for Paruto Capital. You'll see this across all the social media platform, YouTube, Twitter, all the social media platforms. You see this banner. So yeah, I think this is cool. So yeah, so we have this now. We have this icon here. You can change this to anything. I'll just use, let me upload an icon. Let me see, what can I do here? Let me upload a file. I'll just upload a Paruto Capital file. There should be an icon somewhere that I can use. Just a sec. Let me get to that. I should have something somewhere. Okay, let me just look for my logos. Yeah, Paruto Capital here. Let me use, oh, that's a black one. Let me use this. Yeah, I think. Okay, so I think, okay, yeah, so I think this works. So just use this. So this is literally just, how you go about customizing, yours. You can do this again and again and again. So here we'll just have, I'll click on this and then I'll say duplicate, and I'll move this to the third column here, move it up here, and then I'll click on it again and duplicate and move that to the fourth column here. So we're going to create, a quick dashboard that that you can actually use, and then I'll share this with you. So we have this now on the third column here. I'll just say maybe, so we have trading plans, we have trades, and then here we can say what now? Let me see, maybe back testing. Yes, and then here we can just say resources. I'll just capture that there. And yeah, so we have that 4. So we have, you know, 3 sections here. We have, you know, the first one being trading plans, trades, backtesting, and resources. Of course, you can always update this with time. Now, what is next? Now, under trading plans, usually you should have your trading plan, right? You should have your trading plan on how to, you know, map market structure, you know, what to look out for, and all of that. So you normally have that in a trading plan. So if I click on this movie list, I think this is going to be a movie list. I don't really want to use this. So we'll go back to Trading Hub. Recipe, what do they have on the recipe? This is not really something I want to use. So you normally would just maybe move this movie list. I think we're going to use this movie list maybe for resources. So just move this movie list, and then recipe, we'll come back to that later. There's this divider here that I haven't added, so I'll duplicate this and move this here, and also do the same, duplicate, and then add that to, you know, this. Good. So here now, trading plan, we need to create, you know, a trading plan. So what do we do? So if you click on, if you click, you know, here, you see that you have this plus button. If you click on the plus button, you'll see a few things: create a page, text, to-do list, you know, header, and so many things. So for what we want to do, I think we'll just create a page and then try to write out a trading plan. So I'll click on create a page. So you see that created a page for me, and I'm going to write what now? I'll just say my trading plan, right? I'll just name it that. And then with this, that's a site title. The next thing will be to create an empty page, or a page with an icon, or maybe you can even choose from templates. And then you have also options for to create a database, so a table format kind of page, or a board, or list, or timeline, or calendar, or gallery. You have all these options. So we just go with the empty page. So we'll click on that. So we have an empty page. So now what do we now need to do? We need to create, you know, a trading plan. So I'll also, you know, click on the plus button here, or type / and then I'll select heading 2. So these, I'm gonna I'm gonna just title this as mapping what now? Mapping higher time frame, mapping HTF, and then I'll duplicate that, you know, and then duplicate that again, and that's it. Then this second one, we're gonna say mapping medium time frame. And then the last one, mapping lower time frame. Now this is, we're trying to build a trading plan here, right? So the first thing you need to do when building a trading plan is you need to, you know, create, how do you even map your structure? That's the first thing we've been going through structure. Now, how do you even map your structure? You need to understand how to map structure. So to do that now, let me also just add something cute. Let me add a cover here. Okay, so we have a cover. It's now looking nice, right? Trading, let me just type trading here, and then I can type do something great, so that every time you come, you get to see that, or maybe even work harder. Let me even use that. Yeah, I think this looks better. Good. So work harder. So every time you come, you get to see this, work harder, right? So now mapping the high time frame. How do you do that? You need to first, so we're going to use bullets. So we're going to use this. So what do you do first? Identify your POI. Now I want to believe you know what POI is. That's your point of interest, right? So identify your point of interest on the higher time frame. Okay, and your higher time frame, that's your weekly, your daily, and 4-hour, right? That's your high time frame based on, you know, what I've been teaching so far. So that's your higher time frame, right? Then the next thing you do is make sure your higher time frame, or your POIs are showing on the medium time frame. Yeah. Then what else? Okay, so that's that. We may come back to it and add something else. Let's add the lower time frame mapping. So the same thing, we'll just copy this because it's literally the same thing that we'll do. So for this, we'll say identify your POI on the medium time frame, right? On the 15 minutes. So you can just say medium time frame, that's your 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes time frame. So that, okay. Then make sure your POIs, your 15 minutes POIs are showing on the lower time frame, and that's it. Now we're going to come back to this and add some other things anyways to that. So, but that's a good start. Then next one, bullet point, we're going to say, what now? Look for, what do we do now on the lower time frame? Now your lower time frame, based on what I've been teaching you so far, we start on the higher time frame. We'll map the structure, we map our POIs, then we map the same thing on the medium time frame to 15 minutes, and then when we see what we need to see, then we go down to the lower time frame for entry. Now on this here, what we're going to do is mapping the low time frame. We're going to say what now? So the typical journey is this. You have your higher time frame bias, you have your medium time frame, intraday sort of bias to look for trade opportunities, and then based on what you see on the 1 minute, you now go in to look for the same structure from some structure before you enter a trade. Then we'll say here, look for 1 minute. The 1 minute, I usually call it Tom. So look for the 1 minute entry setup, and what? Execute, and that's it, right? So this is basically that. Now to add to this, a few things we need to add, of course. Let me also just make this full width. So a few things we need to add up to this, of course. We can say, for example, on the higher time frame, also identify your strong. You need to identify your strong and weak highs or lows, right? We're literally building a trading plan here together. Okay, so you identify, and I can tell you I have these as part of my trading plan anyway, because these are the fundamentals of market structure that you must see before you even begin to inform any trade and all of that. So identify your strong and weak 4-hour highs and lows. The same thing also 15-minute highs and lows. So you need to identify this, and then when you identify this, then you're beginning to build a story. Now what do we need to add? So to this plan, we need to add something on trade management. So for that, / I will select heading 2 and I'll type trade management. So we have that there, and then I need a bullet point, so I just typed what they call it, a hyphen, and just space, and it automatically gave me that. So for trade management, we're going to say what now? Stop loss. You need to specify your stop loss, right? So you want to say something like stop loss SL must be greater than or equal to 2 pips. Now that was I typed greater than, and then I typed equal, and it gave me this automatically. All right. So you want to say stop loss must be greater than or equal to stop loss. Now that's your stop loss, so you know that you're not going to be using any stop loss in pips less than 2. The next thing, you're going to specify your take profit. Now this is a trade plan, and for any serious trader you find, or any successful trader you find, they always have a trade plan, and understanding this is critical to your success in the long term. So you have to, your trade plan is simply you stating rules that you must follow before you enter a trade. So if you don't see what you need to see, you don't take a trade. So now for the take profit, you can specify and say take profit TP should be greater or equal to 5, or maybe 3, or maybe 4, but never, I discourage 2, right? In other words, your risk to reward should always be 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5, and then above, right? Not really 1 to 2, even though 1 to 2 can make you profit, but well, it also depends on a lot anyways, but at least 1 to 3. If the opportunity, the trade potential is up to 1 to 3, then you can say, okay, I'm going to take the trade and all. So but let's just stick with greater than or equal to 1 to 3, right? Then the next thing we need to specify here again is let me see, what else do we need to state? So we have our stop loss stated, we have our take profit stated. I think the next thing we need to state now should be, okay, how do you even define the 1 minute entry, right? Now I've gone through this over and over again, so I want to believe to a large extent you're familiar with this already. But now the 1 minute entry term that I have here, that's a 1 minute. What you need to see is a flip plus chalk, right? So you need to see this. When you see the 1 minute, a flip and a chalk, after retest, then that's where you can take an entry. But now that also means we haven't also specified that on the higher time frame. So now what do we need to see for the on the 15 minutes? Just give me a sec, right? So let me see how we can actually get at least a lot information into this. Okay. So let me even add to this low time frame stuff. Let's say execute here, execute mechanically. Or no, I prefer to use execute like a robot, right? If a robot sees conditions, a robot is a computer. So if you tell the computer this condition has been met, that condition has been met, what happens? It executes, right? It doesn't think. And that's the essence of a trading plan. You literally want to be able to execute like a robot. If all your conditions have been met, you execute. So execute like a robot, and that's it. Okay. So we need to add something else. I think we'll add it to okay, let's even add some loss. What's our losses, right? How do we manage our losses? So for losses, we want to stay here. How do you, let's say don't risk, risk 0.5%, right, per trade. Would that be losses? No, that would be risk. That would be risk, our risk, right? So we want to say risk 0.5%, not of 0.5%, so less than, right, or equal to 0.5% per trade. So we know that for every trade you're entering, you're only risking nothing greater than 0.5%, you know, and it's a safe way. That simply means it will take you a long time to really lose your account if you're consistent and you stick, you know, with that. Okay. Then what else do we need to specify again? This TP, yeah, greater than 3. That's 1 to 3 anyways. Then put them in brackets. So that's 1 to 3 RR. Now RR means risk to reward, right? So that's the meaning of RR. Then what else do we need to specify here again? Let me see. What else? Okay, so now how do we now specify our entry? So we've talked about mapping your POI on the high time frame, you know, making sure your POI reflects on the medium time frame. We'll do this practically. So the next thing now, I think, is how do we determine our entry, right? So this mapping lower time frame should just be, I think, lower time frame execution, right? Like this. So how do we even execute on the lower time frame? There has to be a few things we see. Number one, would say at the 4 hour POI, right? Wait for a chalk and mitigation, right? Wait for a chalk and mitigation. Now what that means is that when price gets to a 4 hour POI, we have to wait for a 15-minute chalk and mitigation. That means basically we have to wait for a 15-minute, you know, chalk, the first break of structure, and then a return or a retest, you know, of the zone created by the chalk before we look for a, you know, for the 1 minute entry and then trade it, right? That's the simple meaning. Now at the 4 hour POI, that's what we do. Also, so we can say here, okay, so let me just add to this. At 4 hour POI, wait for a 15-minute chalk, and or 15 minutes, what's now, IBOS and mitigation. Now what that means, let me say 15 minutes continuation. I'll show you, we're going to go through this plan literally, like I'm going to show you, you know, how you actually observe all of this practically. So at the 4 hour POI, I wait for a 15-minute chalk and or 15-minute continuation IBOS and mitigation. So you have to see this. If you don't see this on your you know, if you don't see all these conditions met, that simply means there's no reason even looking for an entry for the 1 minute entry and trying to execute a trade. So all of this must be met, you know, before you can even begin to think of looking for, you know, a trade. Now this is basically, this, as simple as this looks like, this is, you know, a trade plan literally, and we can continue to add to this trade plan to continue to solidify, you know, as you practice in the market, you see more information and you can add to things you need to look out for and all of that. Okay, so we have this. Let me see, is there anything else we need to add to this for now? Okay, so I think we can also add something on trade management, right? I've already emphasized or shown you a little of that when we're going through the tool. That's the what do you call it, the position, I think position sizing tool I showed earlier. So trade and risk management, let me just title that this. Now all these things we've done here, I think they should fall under risk management. Now for let's see, sorry, risk management. Oops, let's have it there. Okay, good. And let's have trade management. Now I think I've pointed out a few of this. So first, I told you I have different ways of trading, taking my profits. One is I remove risk, right? I remove risk, and that is what? That is I take I take 25% off at 4R. I showed this during the last session. I take 25% off at 4R, and then 75% to hit, leave 75% to hit TP. Yeah, so and leave 75% to hit TP, and then the other option. So this is like option 1, and then the other option is it's basically just leaving 100%. So this is what I usually call this. Set and forget. Yeah, so set and forget. Okay, so this one usually I'll say take profit, right? Or take 100%. Take 100% off at TP. Yeah, so take 100% off at TP, and that's it. So the first one is to remove my risk. So immediately it gets to 4R, I take out 25% off, which has taken out my risk in the trade. So if it reverses against me, it will be a break-even trade. That means no profit, no loss. The other one is to say take 100% off at TP. That means I leave everything until it gets to TP. Now, oh sorry, seems I got muted. How come? Sorry, just confirm in the chat if you can see my screen. What happened? Oh, sorry. Just confirm please in the chat. Has it been for a while, or it just happened? Just to be sure that you can see it. Okay, cool. All right then. All right, let's continue then. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, so as you can see here, so these are usually the two ways that I would manage my trade. So usually I would use this for maybe any TP I have lower than 5R, maybe 4 or 3, and then I usually use this for my 5R and above. So if I'm just, it's a good day and the trade setup looks like it, I'll just take 25% off at 4 and then leave 75% to hit TP. I usually have another, of course, option if it's maybe a swing trade to take partials. I usually call that option 3, which is pay yourself. So because if you're aiming for high R to R, high RR, there are times when the market might go in your direction, the market might reverse. So imagine, for example, you're aiming for something high and then the market just automatically reversed on you. I think I can see them sharing my screen. Okay, so yeah, so good morning again. We'll just continue from where we stopped last time. Hopefully the internet doesn't misbehave this morning. Okay, so from last time we're trying to build out more like this trading hub, and also add our trading plan. We'd already started building that here. So we started building this as our trading plan. In other words, these are things that we'll look out for before we take a position or before we take a trade, right? So we started this. So yeah, so pretty much we had already described the map. We already described how we map the higher time frame, the medium time frame, and then what we also look for for the lower time frame execution. And then of course we also had the trade and risk management all in place. And then what we had, yes, our stop loss, we defined that, take profit, we defined that risk, what we risk per trade. Well, we've also defined that, and then the trade management. So option 1, how basically we take our profit. Now, when it comes to trading, you have to know exactly where to enter, where to take a loss, and then where to take a profit. As a matter of fact, one of the most important thing you have to know is when to take a loss. You have to know that. Usually people who don't have a trading plan, or traders or amateur traders, I would say, or naive traders who don't have a trading plan and are just trying to, make a quick bucks and, become rich in the market, what they just do is they just enter the market, no definition of where the stop loss is going to be. I just hope that it's going to go in my direction. And then, they take losses beyond, what they should if they had a trade plan or they had a risk management plan in place. So the loss has to be the most important one. So you have to know exactly what you're risking per trade. So I'm going into this trade. It could be a loss, of course, or it could be a win. But I know that if it's a loss, this is how much I'm willing to lose for the per trade. So that has to be defined. So for us, it's really 0.5%. For me, it's really 0.5%. Now, other people might have different parameters, but I feel that it good. And anyways, if you're trading, depends on the capital you're trading. 0.5% of, let me say, $100,000 is $500. So that means per trade you're willing to lose $500. Yeah, and then 0.5% of $200 is how much? It's $1,000. So when you begin to compound it, when you begin to think of the amount you're trading, it's a lot of money. So yeah, so 1%, of 200,000 or 400,000, that's $4,000. That's when you're risking that amount per trade. If it goes against you, that's how much you lose. So yeah, so but risk management, it's the best thing in as a trader you can always have, because the goal is not to become rich overnight. The goal is to survive. Many people don't survive, because they don't have a good risk management in place, and eventually a lot of people drop because they're just blowing their account. They have no idea how much they're risking, and they're just going like that. So yeah, so that is that for that. Okay, so let me see, bring this trading view up. Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, so that is that for that. So let's continue, fleshing this up, right? So we have the trading plan here, and we can also have, your goals. So yearly goals, for example, you can define what your yearly goals are when it comes to trading. So what do you want to achieve this year? What do you want to accomplish this year? So this can be different things, right? So it could be objectives. What do you want to see? For example, we could say acquire, let's say, the goal could be acquire, let's say, 100,000 prop firm funding, right? So this could be a goal, and then we could say the first phase would be what? Phase 1, or we could say pass phase 1, because you have to pass a phase, pass phase 1, and that will be a goal, and then pass phase 2. Now, prop firms always have, that's firms that give money, right, for trading. They always have different stages that you have to sort of pass before you can become a funded trader. And then the last stage will be become funded trader, right? So this could be a goal, right? It could be acquire $100,000 prop firm funding. It could be acquire 400. It could be acquire 200, whichever one it is. We've already gone through prop firm funding before. So if I just try to highlight some of this, one of the ones I always like to. Oh, let me just go there. My FF. So they have a good. I'll say a good system in terms of funding and all. So you have, for example, these guys here. So you have, these are the options, so you can go with any of these options. You can acquire a $5,000 account, and then all you need to pay, and it's refundable if you become a funded trader, right? So it's refundable. You only need to pay $49, and then they'll give you a $5,000 account, and then you can trade it. If you've done your homework, you've practiced, you've taken the time, you pass phase 1, 8%, phase 2, you're just required to make 5%. If you've done your homework, you can begin to grow gradually. So this could be a goal, to say, hey, acquire prop firm funding. Of course, that's that's a long-term goal based on where you are, with respect to trading, and also understanding the strategy you're also using in the market. So this could be a goal, right? And then you can continue to add your goals here, and basically continue to define this however you want to define this. Now, another thing also that sometimes, is good to do here too, because the truth about trading, it's a high level skill. That's just the truth. And that's because what you become for you to what you get transformed into for you to become a funded trader is something that the average human being doesn't really undergo. To become really a successful trader, you're going to really go through a lot of things. You're going to master your psychology. Loss is not going to mean anything to you. Literally, you can just lose like $5,000 depending on your risk, or lose like 1,000, 2,000, and it's not mean anything to you. A normal human being cannot shoulder that kind of a thing. But a trader has a different mindset, and what you become to become a funded trader, a successful trader, will literally affect your life and make you a better human being overall. So so all of this basically, are just things you can put in your trading plan. Some people go to the extent of adding some other things, and I'm just going to show you an example of what I mean. So let me try and add a divider, so we can just make this a little bit cool. Yeah. Okay, so here I said also we'll add some back testing. We're going to do that. We're going to add more information, but let me just add this and sort of jump in the car. But I'll come back to this. So let's add something like a gallery view. Okay, so this gallery view, we're going to add what now? Task list. Let's add something like task list. No, not this. Or let me see. Just a sec. Let's make this table. The table I want to use. Let me see. Board, list, gallery. Yeah, let's use gallery. So for this one, sorry, I clicked that too fast. So let me go back to. Okay, so you picked this from somewhere. No, I don't want to use this. So let me just, I want to delete this. Okay. So let's just say images. No, gallery. New database. So I just clicked on new database. So for this, I'm just going to do a few things. So let me say I created a new database like this. So I'm just going to say goals. So this would be like long-term goals, right? So if we open this up, so we can add whatever it is we want to add. So let's just say your goal 1. Let's say goal 1, and then here we can add an image, right? So let's say the truth about it, at the end of the day, when you're trading, you want to be able to, the goal is you eventually want to be financially free. That's the goal of trading, right? So you can also add some things that would give you that sense of what it will look like eventually when you become a successful trader. And this is not something you're thinking of, oh, because I've done this, I want to acquire this in the next 1 year. No, this is like a long-term goal. So it keeps you going, right? So let's say we do something like add a car. Excuse me. Let's say we add a car. Let's add the image of a car, a very nice car, right? Everybody likes good cars, so let's add this car, for example. All right, so you're saying, hey, sometime in the future I'm going to be in a position where I'm going to buy this, right? And let's add another one. Let's say, what other car now? Yeah, so let's add another one. Let's just get this down. So you're saying this is my future, right? This is where I will be in a position where I'll be able to actually acquire this. It doesn't even necessarily mean that eventually when you have the money, you're going to buy it, but you just have that. Say, hey, I'll be in a position to be able to afford this. So you can add that as goal 1, right? So here we can have this also and add this as image, and we'll add this, upload the second one. Oh, it's here to download. Can you just download it? Okay. So cool. So we've added that. Goal 2. What else? I think we should add maybe something like a house, right? So say goal 3. So this would keep you. These are things you always look at when you come to trade, right? So let's say let's show home. Let's look for a very nice house. This is visioning. Right, you're visioning and seeing what the future could be like, right, or should be. This image is not too high resolution. Let's look for a better one. Okay, this also not too high resolution image. Need a good image. This one's high resolution. Let's see. Okay, so let's get something like this. You could find something better anyways, right? You could even look at, since someone here, something here on Pinterest. Good. So yeah, so let's add these 3 goals, right? And then I think we'd have this should be cool. Okay, so we have this. Let me also add another one to the same here, I think. Yes. Uh-oh, I added same image, sorry. Added the same image. I think should be the second one. Cool. So yeah, so goal 3, and that's it. So we've now added, so gradually you're building your kind of trading hub, right? So we have this as our goal. So you can add other things that you also have in mind, you know. So every time you come, for example, you're trading, you have this before you, and it helps you. Even if you're failing, you're just telling yourself, hey, one day I'm going to be able to stand and I'll be in a position to do this. It's going to take a while. It may take 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, but eventually it's going to happen. If you stay, of course, if you stay long enough. So yeah, so that is that. What else do we need to add to this? So we've added our yearly goals under, I think I'm going to move this yearly goals thing. We're going to move this to, let's just move it to this trading plans and goals. Let's just add that there. Yeah. Then trades. Now let's build what our trade system, our journaling system is going to look like. So when you're taking trade, you need to journal. You need to put down your journal. So let's do that. So let's create a page. So we'll create a page. This page is going to be a list, right? Because how we're going to be capturing that is going to be like a list. So I'm going to show you how that's going to look like. So we do that. So new database. What's that? Oh, sorry, sir. No, I think I need something else. Excuse me. So let me see. I need to, what I need, the layout. Good. I think this layout, I would need a table. Yeah, so I'll need a table. So I created a page, and then the layout, I just selected a table. Now I'm going to show you how we're going to build this out. So for the table, we're going to have the first column. We're going to say trade, trade number, for example. Oh, what just happened? Let me refresh the page. Okay, cool. So we're gonna say trade number there. So we're gonna say this is, for example, let's title this live trades. Okay, just let's go back to the trading hub so you see what this looks like. So now we created a new page, live trades. I'm gonna take out, or let me just move this. I may use it later. Let's just move that here. So live trades now. So we have this live trade. So if we click on it, we see here now that we're trying to build out, something. So we're using a table view, and then we have, trade number. The next tab here, we're going to name it instrument. So instrument simply meaning that we're going to have to specify, if you're trading, what pair are you trading? Is it EU? Is it GU? Is it, euro, dollar? So you have to specify that. So for us, we're going to just say it has to be single select. So type, we'll select select. And then we'll click on it again, click on edit property. And then here under edit property, we have add an option. So we can say EU, that's one, GU, that's one, AU, Australian dollar, and that's enough. Okay, so we have that. Then we can also add another, column. For this column, we're going to specify what our stop loss was when we took the trade. So this is actually going to be, what type of data we're going to capture here. It's just going to be numbers. So our stop loss, right? So we title that as SL. And yeah, so we can add something nice, just a number, or we can add a bar, or we can add a ring, just something cool. So yeah, so you can just put that there, and that is that. So we have that. And then we also need another column for our take profit. Where did we take our profit? Now for our take profit, we can have our actual take profit, right? That means where we actually took profit, number, and also can put something cute as a bar, where we actually took profit. So we can put that there, and then we can add another one too, which is also going to be our TP. That means what we planned. Now, sometimes you plan to take profit at a particular place, but then the trade went against you, so that was a loss. So you always capture what you planned and then what you actually got. So we'll put that there. That's also a number. Then what else do we need to capture? Of course, we need notes. So it's good to always take notes. Oh, okay, this trade went against me. Why did I not? Why did the trade go against me? Maybe I was there was a flaw somehow. Maybe I did something. Maybe I was impatient and all of that. So you can always specify. So this is basically how you go about capturing your trades. Now I think we need to add something else. What do we need to add? Stop loss, entry, and all of that. We've defined that. Instrument, we'll define that. Yeah, we can go on and on to add so many things. For example, you can add maybe your psychology flow, psych, right? Psych flow. So what this means is, if for example this trade was a loss, the type we're going to put select. So the type and then the options. Now what this means is you're trying to capture when you took this trade, what happened. Was it were you trying to revenge trade, right? Or were you impatient? So impatience, you're trying to capture all those flaws of the human psychology that usually exhibits itself during trading. So impatient or none, if for example there's nothing, or what else? Greed. Because these are all the things you're going to see when you start trading. Literally, you're going to see them manifest in the market. Literally, as at yesterday, I manifested impatience twice. So, but because I keep a trading journal, I'm able to see and capture all of that. Every trade I take, I journal it. So I'm able to see that and then go back on it and then learn from it. And that's the goal of trading. So greed, what else? Revenge, greed. What else can really manifest again? Yeah, overconfidence. Yeah. So overconfidence, yeah, that's another one. So I think this is enough. So when you, so when you take a trade, you simply just have to, you come here, you put your number and all of that. So we're going to do that practically. So this is that. Now the next thing is we need to build, the template, for us. Now, aside capturing the instrument you traded, taking notes, you can always move these things around. Psychology flow, your stop loss, your TP, plan, and also what you actually, got, and then note. You can also add, a template where you can capture your snapshots. I'm going to build that shortly. Let me add something here, another property. So I'm going to add, what am I going to add here? The plan, followed plan. So I'll just say plan. And what this means is also going to be an option, single select, yes or no. What this does is, did I follow my plan? If I followed my plan, I'll select yes. If I didn't follow my plan for the trade, I'll select no. And that simply helps me over time to begin to, identify why did I not follow my plan, and that would most likely be linked to the psychology flow, and then you can build and learn from that, and that's how you become a better trader. So let's create a template now. So we'll create a template, and then we're going to name this live trades template, and then we already have this thing stated. So now I want to build this out. So we're going to create so the first thing I always want to do is to be able to specify the multi-time frame snapshot. Okay, so the multi-time frame snapshot, I'll click on this and then make the color of the background to be gray. Yeah, something like that. So the multi-time frame snapshot, that means I'm going to take a snapshot of my 4-hour plus my 15 minutes plus my 1 minute. Yeah, I'll take that snapshot, right? And then I'll also do the same. Sorry, I'll just duplicate this one. Let me just duplicate this again. Okay, let me do something. So I'll just create a column like this. So let me say 4 columns. So the first one, I'm going to move this guy here. Now this one is going to be my high time frame 4-hour snapshot. So this is going to be my high time frame 4-hour snapshot. If I duplicate it, I'll move that to this space here, and that's going to be my medium time frame, snapshot. So my 15 minutes snapshot, and then the next one is going to be my lower time frame snapshot. That's my 1 minute. right? And then the last one is going to be the snapshot of the trading this thing itself. That's MT4, MT4, MT5. That's it. So and then what else? And then I'll just move this one down here somewhere. Sorry. Yeah, so I'll just move that. So we're going to see how practically now. So this is a template. So what this means, it's after every trade, I'll take a snapshot of, you know, the 3 view that I always use. This is what I normally do. And then I'll take a snapshot of the 4 hour, the 15 minutes, and also the 1 minute time frames. And then the snapshot also of the MT4. And then this last place here, I'll normally add maybe lessons, you know, just lessons and whatever. And just whatever I want to add there. So here I'll just type in my lessons and stuff. So this is basically a template, right? So now we've created this template. So let's go back. Good. So, oh no, not now. Okay. All right. So let's say we took a trade now. This is what we're going to do. Oh, sorry. I just have not added something. There's supposed to be, it was supposed to also have like time, right? Because when you take a trade, you're also supposed to have what time, you know, did you take the trade. So we're supposed to have a date column here. So date, date, full date, hour, and also that's it. So we just move that to almost the beginning here. Yeah, when you took the trade. So we can have that. So let's say, for example, we took a trade. So we just come here, and what we just do is click on open, type 1. The plan, did you follow a plan? Let's assume yes. What's pair, EU, what psychological flaw? None. And then what was the stop loss we used? Maybe we can say we use a stop loss of 3. What was the actual TP? Let's assume it was 2.5. What was our planned TP? Let's assume we are planning 2.5. Now 2.5, I mean percentage, right? So you can also add the information here, percentage. So you basically know what it's capturing. So percentage. My TP, of course, it's in pips, right? So let me also just clarify that. So this is how many pips? That's 3 pips. Okay, so that's that. Then what else? Then note, you can capture your note, and then the date, of course. So we can put the date. So this maybe was a trade that was taken yesterday, Friday. So we can put 20th, and then you can include the time. What time did you take the trade? So I can just say I took the trade around, let me say 10 a.m. So I'll just put that there, and that is it. So this is basically how you capture your trade information. Then the next thing is now to capture the snapshots. So look at this live trade template that we had created earlier. So if you just click it, it will pre-populate for you. So if we do that, it will simply just populate, you know, what we have created. So you can see how it populates that. So with this now, we can take a snapshot, you know. So let me do that and show you what it's like. So let me say this was the snapshot. So I'll just take this snapshot like this. And then I'll come here. Oh, what I did, oh my God. That was fast, but what I did was I'm using a Mac. I'm not sure what command this is going to be on the Windows, but I pressed Shift Command and then Shift Command S, and that sort of copied, you know, the image to my clipboard, right? So you can figure out that on your own end. So and then I'll just Control V or Command V, and then that pastes. I will just paste that in here. So you can see it's loading everything for me. So this is how I capture the trade, and I'll go back again, do the same for my 4 hour. The same command, Shift S, and then I'll come in here 4 hour, I'll paste that in, do that for my 15 minutes. I'll also capture my 15-minute time frame here, Command Shift V. Now I'm doing this because I want to be able to review all my trades at the end of the week. For example, today being Saturday, I will go through all my trades. I'll note my flaws. I'll note, you know, why I missed the trade, why, you know, I didn't take the trade correctly, and all of that. So here on the 1 minute, for example, this. Take a snapshot of this particular trade. Sorry, this is too wide. Let me reduce this. Okay. All right. So this is it. So this is like 1 minute. So I'll take a snapshot of the 1 minute, and then I'll come in here. I'll paste that in, and that is it. And then I'll also take a snapshot of, you know, like the MT4. This is the MT4. I'll take a snapshot of it, for example, and then now for me, I'm using a Mac computer, but I have Windows also installed. So this is Windows counterpart, so it requires a different kind of whatever. So yeah, so MT4, I'll also paste that in, and that is it. So now I've captured all the information I want to capture about this trade, right? Whether it was a win or a loss. Now, oh, that also reminds me. You also need to have a column for status. So was it a win or was it a loss? So for that we can have what now? Sorry, let me see. For status, now it's also a select. So I want to select, so I'll just say win, loss. I'll just use the necessary colors. So for win, I'll use green, and for loss, I'll use what? Red, right? Just that, and then I'll put that where? Here, yeah. So for this trade was a win, so I'll say win, and perfect. So that is it. So when you come in here, let me move that status to the front where you can always see that. So I'll always just put that somewhere around here. Can reduce all those columns. So put to okay. So with this, imagine you have a number of trades. You can simply just come in here, and this is literally how to journal trades. You're journaling your psychology, you're journaling literally everything. So I can just duplicate this just for the purposes, so we can just have a picture of what this is going to look like. Yeah. So imagine you've taken several trades, and this is what it's going to look like at the end of the day. So you have, your wins, your losses. It's always be a mix, right? So yeah, and then you have, of course, the dates too. It could be, different dates, which suspectedly would be. So yeah, so you can capture all of that information. Sorry, let's see. Yeah, so we have this, and then of course the trade number. You can always 1, 2, 3 from the first one you took all the way to the last one. So you can always switch, add in the number of trades you're taking. At the end of the day, for each column, for example, the actual TP, you can do something. You can Notion allows you to do a calculation here, so you can do your sum. So this will sum it for you. So especially that means if you're actually making all this, okay, this was a loss, so this is going to be minus, because this is with the assumption that we're risking 0.5. So it was a loss, so we lost 0.5%. This was also a loss, so we lost 0.5% minus 0.5. And then this was also a loss, so we lost minus 0.5. So by the time you do your Notion will do the sum for you, you see that at the end of the day, you're actually up 6% in spite of your your 3 losses. So this is how basically you're able to capture that. Then your planned, if it had gone according to your plan, that means you would have actually been up by 15%. You see that? But because you had losses, you're just up by 6%. So yeah, so that is how to capture this. So this is basically how to capture your trade, how to journal your trade, using this template that we've just built together, as you've seen. And this is by the time you come here, for example, you click on this, you hold spacebar. You can see you're able to go through the trade. Okay, what was wrong? You study the trade, you move it across your 4 hour, your 15 minutes, everything is there. And then this becomes, a valuable resource for you, in the future, to always go back and learn and improve yourself. Now, trading, for most people who come into trading, they don't usually have all these things. A lot of people, but if you want to learn trading the right way, this is the bare minimum, you must have. On how to really trade, journal your trade and capture all of this information, and over time you end up building something really, really, really good, right? So that's that for the live trade. The next one will be back testing. So for back testing, we'll just duplicate this guy here and just move that there. Now back testing is almost the same thing. Excuse me. Let me connect my computer. Battery's almost down. So backtesting is simply, the same thing as the live trade. You just use almost the same template, and that's simply because when you're backtesting, you're simply just going through the strategy on historical data, right? So I'll just rename this one to backtesting. Yeah, and that is that. Uh-oh, what happened? Ooh. Sorry guys, I'm coming. What's happening? So let me see, my battery is 10%. Just want to make sure this is going to work. Please guys, just give me a second. So Sorry, probably just do something. So backtesting is the same thing. So this is also the same template you're literally just going to use, right? Because this allows you to kind of, test your data, test your strategy, and then capture all of that information using the same thing. So depending on the month you're backtesting, you can also capture that. But we're going to be doing backtesting as a separate lesson, so I wouldn't go into that. What else can we add here? So here we have resources. So what type of resources can you add? You can add maybe links to books. Let's see. You can add, let's change this to resources. So yeah, so we can change this icon to what? Book. Resources literally, right? So here you can add wants to watch. Here they have movies and all of that they've set up, but you can add your own template, of course. So for us, we can decide to say, what do you want to add? How do you want to capture this? This could be a table, right? Or a table, or if not a table, let's see, what else can we add? We could add a list with maybe links to articles, links to books, different things basically that you can study, right? Let me also see what else we can add. We can also add a table view. So we can add a table view too anyways, of resources. So we can add name, we can add maybe link, and all. So you can say, you can add a book, you can add a link to a website or different things. So let's just say stock and profit course, right? So you can add this, the link, we can just, search for the link. Oh, yeah, you can just search for the link and then put that there. Okay. So yeah, so create that. So you can add different things. Another book, you can add another book on psychology or whatever, and then you can literally just continue to build this out. Has your own resource. Yeah, then recipe, we don't need this, so we can just delete this out of our plan. Travel plans, nope. And that is that. Then what else do we need to add? Then maybe we can add, let me see. Oh, we can add, let's add something fancy. We can add the stock in profit website here, create an embed or bookmark. How do you want to do this? I think bookmark is cool. So you can bookmark that there. We can also do something else. We can also add both that and also, let me say, the YouTube channel, Paruto Capital. So we can also do that there. And also add that. Then create that as a bookmark. This guy here, maybe we can create this as an embedded something. Let's see. Oh, you can just remove that there. So yeah, we can add this. So you can literally see how the trading hub is coming alive, and then we can continue to do more and more and more. You can add, your daily routine here, what you should do every morning, and then you can continue to flesh this up, as you develop more skills and as you understand how this should work. So this is basically, how you go about creating, a trading plan. And yeah, so I think at this juncture, I'll just open the floor so that you'll be able to ask any questions, and then I'll be able to answer your questions, right? So just a sec. Okay. So yeah, so the floor is open. So please go on. Feel free to ask any questions you have. Yeah.
Okay, good morning.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Is it possible for us to get this whole plan that you set up on?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. So after today, this really goes and move to resources. So yeah, after today, after the class today, I'll share this with you. So yeah, so you'll be able to, I'll just send it via an email. So you'll be able to use it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other question? So at least on journaling, I want to believe. Oh, the class is supposed to start 7:30 a.m. Yeah. It's supposed to be 7:30 a.m. I think we probably missed it the last time. That's why. So by 7:30 a.m. Okay, that's UTC plus 1, right? Or GMT plus 1? Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
So
Yes, please.
when you like after you make money, do you withdraw at the end of the month or at the end of the week, or you build on top of what you have, like sort of compound that is increasing your risk? So I started $100, I increased to made profit of 150, I had 150, then my risk, the percentage is the same, but the currency is higher. Is it that you're building like a capital base kind of, or you withdraw after every month or something?
Well, so good question. Yeah. So now there are different ways to approach that, because I may, for example, personally, for example, it depends on what you're building. It depends on what you're trading. So, for example, if it's a prop firm, capital, that means it's all these prop firms and all of that. Usually, it's advisable if you just get a certain percentage. You should always have a goal. Maybe I'm aiming for. If you become funded, maybe you just aim for, when you just get maybe 5%, that's all for that account. You just wait until your payout, and most of the time the payout is usually in 14 days, bi-weekly and all of that. So you basically just take your profit and go back to the normal account and just continue to trade your account. Now your profit, you can always take it out and use that to continue to build your own personal trading account. Right? So if it's your own personal money and your own personal trading account, you can decide to be compounding. If it's a prop firm, advisably always take out your money, because it is basically free money, in the sense that it's somebody giving you their money to trade. So why are you compounding the money? Just take money, pay yourself literally, and then either pay yourself and use that money to build your own personal account, or use the money for something. But don't, for prop firms, capital, is not advisable for you to continue to just build and build instead of taking something and really literally paying yourself. So it all depends on what, if it's your own personal capital or if it's a profit. If it's your own personal capital, you can decide to be building incrementally and then gradually. Yeah. Hope that helps. Okay, cool. So excuse me. All right, so do we have any other question? So the next thing that we're going to do, or the next class we're going to have, is going to be a back testing class. So we're going to be basically back testing the EU. I'll just pick a month, and then we're going to back test the EU and also back test the strategy together, so you literally see how to do back testing, and then you can basically just run with it. And also I'll be showing you a software that actually allows you to back test. It's for free. I think they give 5 days free or thereabouts, and then if you want to continue to use it, you have to pay for it. So we'll use that to solidify our understanding of all the strategy and everything that we've done so far. And I think when we do that, most likely that might be our last class, or after that class we'll have one more class for general question answers, and then we'll wrap up the free mentorship class. So but I think with this we've been able to build a solid foundation on market structure, understanding market structure, picking your POIs, drawing up a trade plan, and also building your trading hub, because trading itself is a business. Really, trading is a business. If you view it that way, it's going to really change how you approach this. It's not really something people, most of the time, if trading was easy, everybody would be a millionaire. That's the truth. But trading is not easy, and that's why when you master it, eventually it becomes something that stays with you for life. And people would say you're lucky, but you're not lucky because you actually put in the work. So so that's that. So well, since there are no questions, I think this would be a good place for us to call it a day and wrap up here. So thank you so much for joining in, and I'll be sharing this template as I promised via email with you, so you'll be able to access it. So thank you so much for coming on board today, and I look forward to sharing with you on Wednesday. Sorry, I said on Wednesday. Oh, our next class is actually today, this evening, not even Wednesday. So this evening, that's what we're going to be touching on back testing, right? So this evening, so this evening by 8 p.m. So Thanks, and do enjoy your weekend. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.